Gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NBA coverage. All right, we're gonna hit this bad boy solo, so we're gonna get straight into it. Go like that. All right. Um, what that do? Mm, Oh my gosh! All right, guys, we gotta work out. We gotta work out. All right. So before we get started, don't forget subscriber giveaway. First and 15th of every month, $50. All you have to do is subscribe. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, and you'll be entered in for life in perpetuity for a chance to win $50 on the first 15th of every month. All right, so get on that. Also, the IB Fitness, we got workout programs here, really challenges. We need something very specific for this bad boy out. We got apparel. And I can help I can work the workout program. We also got feeding agents right here and things like that. And then while we're here, obviously, guys, you gotta get right on the supplements. We got protein powders, vegan protein powders, coffees and teas. We got stuff for energy, um, all that good stuff. Hydration. We got it all. All right. So let's get straight into it. Where's my laser pointing? Standings. Standings. We're gonna start in the West. At number one, we got OKC, Spurs, Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets, Timberwolves, Suds, Clippers, Trailblazers, Warriors, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Jazz, Kings. All right. From the East, we got Pistons at one, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Hawks, 76ers, Raptors, Hornets, Magic, Heat, Bucks, Bills, Pacers, Nets, and the Wizards. All right, statistical leaders. This is not. I'll just list off the statistical leaders, and then we'll go over the top weekly performers of the past 7 days. So statistical leaders, we got Luka Doncic and points per game at 33.8, rebounds per game, Nikola Jokic at 13, assists per game, Nikola Jokic at 10.8, steals per game, Thompson, Wallace, and Maxey and Kawhi Leonard all tied at 2. Blocks per game, Victor Wembanyama at 3.1, field goals per game, Rudy Gobert at 69.3, 3-point percentage, Luke Kennard at 49.1. Free throw percentage, Cam Spencer at 94%. Minutes per game, Tyrese Maxey. Turnovers per game, Luka Doncic at 4. All right. Top 5 performers in the past 7 days this past week. Let me go ahead and leave myself. So one, we got Luka Doncic, 41.5 points per game, 2.5 steals, 7.5 assists, 6.5 rebounds. Shooting free throw percentage at 100%, shooting 47 from the 3-point line, and about 55% from the field in 2 games. Jaylen Brown at number 2, 36 points, 86, 6.5 rebounds, 36% from the field. Free throw, about 62%. At the field goal, 44.8, and that's in 2 games there. At number 3, Victor Wembanyama, 35 points, 2.3 blocks, 4.3 assists, 16.3 rebounds, 90% from the free throw line. About a 33 from the third, 33% from the 3-point line, 57% field goal overall in 3 games with Victor Wembanyama at 4 SGA, 34 points, 4 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 81% from the free throw line. From the three-point line, not very good. Now, granted, on average, he's only taking 5, so he's not getting a high volume, but still under 20% from 3. But at field goal, 45%. We all know he has to get to his spots in the mid-range. So he's majority of his shots are taken at the mid-range line. Out of 20 field goal attempts, only about 5 of them are 3-point. So 15 of them are obviously within the paint, within the 3-point line. So definitely a lot better at the field goal percentage right here. And that's in 3 games. And then last but not least, Devin Booker, 32 points, 6.7 assists, 2.7 rebounds, shooting 86% from the free throw line, 41% from the three, shooting very effective from three, and almost 60% from the field goal. So he's shooting the highest out of the top five the past 7 days at 59.3% from the field, and that's in 3 games. So shout out to those guys there. So what's also interesting is we have about 10 games left in the NBA season, about 10 days left. So each team has about 5 to 6 games left in the season. So we'll get closer to that as we get into the playoff bracket. So regular season award trackers, I'm using a different website, but regular season MVP, SGA is the favorite right now. Victor Wembanyama obviously has gone up big time over Nikola Jokic, and Luka has also gone up over Nikola Jokic. So the top three are SGA, Victor Wembanyama, and Luka Doncic. Their rookie of the year, Con Kneppel, I guess I could just scroll up. Con Kneppel is the favorite right there. Obviously, early on in the season, it was Cooper Flag, but Con Kneppel setting 3-point record for a rookie, having a great individual season with the Charlotte Hornets. He's really stepped up and become one of those guys. Defensive player of the year, no surprise, Victor Wembanyama. His presence alone affects other team's offense, even if he doesn't get any stats. Just him being in the paint is a problem. All right, so Victor Wembanyama is the biggest odds of defensive player of the year. Most improved player, SGA's cousin, Nick Alexander-Walker. He's the favorite for most improved player. Jalen Duran is also on there as well. But yeah. And 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson for the San Antonio Spurs. A clutch player of the year, SGA is the favorite. So SGA has a chance to win MVP, back-to-back MVPs, as well as clutch player of the year. And then real quick before we get to this playoff, shout out LeBron James. You guys know LeBron, Ramon. James officially surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this past week in most career wins. And that's all-time wins, so playoffs and regular season. I believe Abdul-Jabbar still has the most regular season wins, but when you combine playoffs and regular season, LeBron has the most all-time wins. So again, another record this guy has broken. All right. Shout out to LeBron. Let's get to these playoff pictures. We talked about last week what we talked about. Let me just put these two tabs next to each other because we'll be going a little back and forth. Remember, Hornets were at that, I believe they're at that 10th spot. Hornets and Magic, I think we're at that 10th. No, I think it was Hornets were at that 10th spot. They were tied for 9 and 10 record-wise. And we talked about if I'm the Hornets, I'm doing whatever I can to get to that 7 or 8 seed, because in that 7th, 8th seed, you need to win 1 out of 2 versus the 8 and 9s. You're done if you lose. So I was talking about how I think the Hornets have the ability. I think they can move up and get out of that 9 and 10 spot. And that's what happened. Magic's down there at that 9 spot. Now, Magic Hornets. Sorry, I'm yawning so much. It's been a very long day. I've been working nonstop. And as you guys can see, it's only 1:50 p.m. It's not even 2 o'clock. And I've been just working in front of the computer. Anyway, Hornets and Magic are still tied record-wise. Okay? So that means that Hornets and Magic are going to fight to stay out of the bottom 2 in the plane. You want to be in the top 2 in the plane, right? So it's going to come down to, I don't know who has that tiebreaker. I think this is set up. I think these are set in order based on tiebreakers as well. So if it were to end today, Hornets would be at 8, Magic would be at 9 because of in-season tiebreakers. But if Magic, whoever wins more games the next 10 days gets that higher seed in the play-in. So Magic and Hornets are getting that fight. And Raptors and 76ers. This was very interesting as well because Raptors 76ers, they are both Raptors 76ers, they're both tied at 13 games behind. So between the Raptors and Sixers, now the Raptors have a potential, they have a chance. The Raptors and the 76ers, the Raptors have a chance to completely avoid the play-in and make the playoffs and get out of that bottom 4. So if between the Raptors and 76ers, whoever finishes better, whoever can get more wins in the next 10 days
If you're the Raptors, you don't have to play in the play-in. If you're the 76ers, you go from not being in the play-in to you have to play in the play-in. So for these two teams, this is probably the most important situation set up for any team in the playoffs right now. It is, let's see if the West is as close. Okay, no, there's a huge gap in the West. So the West, Suns are not making it. Yeah, so Wolves, so 1 through 6, Thunder to Timberwolves, playoffs. They're not doing playing. Now the Suns, there could still be some flipping here, but there's really not enough games left for actually. I think if Suns were to win out and Rockets to, I think if Timberwolves were to lose out, I think they have 5 games. Let's see, 46-29. Let's see, do real quick, 75. Okay, so Timberwolves have 7 games left. So, obviously, they don't all play the exact amount of games off rip. It eventually even out to 82, but Timberwolves have 7 games left. So Timberwolves lose out and Suns win out, then Suns could, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. But it's not really anything right here in the West. But in the East, this is the most important 10 days for the Raptors and the 76ers. The Raptors can literally go from having to play in potentially 2 playing games and get like literally and then within a day or two playing the playoffs. You can go from that to having this rest time and not be in the playoffs or not being the plan. So this is extremely important. The most important 10 days for these two teams right here, these two teams, because they can literally change the whole dynamic of the playoffs for them, depending on if they got to play in the play-in or not. Okay. So that's going to be something we're definitely keeping our eye on there. And then here, again, it's still important, but they're going to be in the play-in regardless. But at least if you're going to be in the play-in, you would rather be on the 7th or 8th seed. So if you lose the first game for some strange odd reason, you got 2 games to get one. Versus if you're in the bottom, if you're in the 9 or 10, you have to win 2 straight. You have to win 2 straight just to get the last seed. It's like the worst possible position to be in. But that's obviously, you're the 9th and 10th seed. So you got to work harder to get in because you didn't do as well in the season. You got to reward the higher seeded teams and the other ones don't get that. So that makes sense. All right. So that's the setup. Now, as of right now, not really much has changed, but as of right now, Trailblazers, Warriors, then it's Suns, Clippers, Magic, Heat. I believe that switched up. I believe it was Magic, Raptors. I think I can't remember. And then Raptors, Hornets. Okay. So and then Pistons will play the winner of the play-in there, or the winner of the 8th seed. So the winner of uh the win. Okay, the Pistons are going to play the winner. Let's do it. Let's do it this way. Between Raptors and Hornets, Celtics will play that winner because they automatically get the 7th seed. Then the Pistons will play the winner between Magic and the Heat, and the loser between Hornets, Raptors. Okay, hope that makes sense. Then Cavs, Hawks, Knicks, 76ers. Now remember, Knicks could potentially be playing the Raptors. Knicks could be playing the 76ers. We won't know till probably the last game of the season for those teams. Because if I'm the head coach for the 76ers, we cannot lose this 6th seed spot. We do not want to be in the play-in. No team wants to be in the play-in. Okay. It's more games, more fatigue. You get no rest in between, especially those last seed. You're going to go from having to play this game, then you win that. Then you got to play this game to win that. Then I think the 8th seed, you might get one day off, and then you're in a 7-game series. So it's like, Jesus Christ. It's a lot of games. All right. Thunder, they will play the winner of the Spurs will play winner of Suns Clippers as of right now, and then Thunder will play the winner of the loser, either the loser of Suns Clippers, the loser Sun Clippers, and the winner of Trailblazers Warriors. The winner of that will play OKC. Okay, so again, ladies and gentlemen, we have, let's see, 10 days. The last day of the regular season, I believe, is the 12th. Yeah, 10 days, the 12th. Then playing tournament starts here. and I believe the playoff tournament, I think, ends on the 17th, and literally the playoffs start the 19th. So literally, Saturday, those playing teams will have off, and then it's 7-game series starting the 19th, 20, on and so on and so forth. So in terms of scheduling for the pod, next week we'll essentially know who's in what place more, but it still kind of be more like it is today, especially for those teams that are like on the bubble. So it might not be 100% solidified, but we'll kind of get a better idea of who is clinched where, because you never know, like what's his name, the 76ers might just lose out this week, and then we'll see. So we got that, and then after next week's episode, assuming I usually record on Thursdays. For those of y'all who don't know, Thursdays is usually the day we record. So the ninth will drop, we'll recap, and it'll be more playoff picture talk, and maybe some like statistical leader, yada yada. We pop, and then a little bit of standings, and then that after the ninth, after next week's episode, we will probably be dropping them as games happen. So we might have many episodes. Some of them might be just me, depending on how late these games are getting done. But we'll have many episodes kind of as these games wrap up, getting on and talking about them. So it might not be a set schedule moving forward. We'll talk about like when certain series ends, we'll get on talk about those series, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're gonna have a lot of content, a lot of episodes dishing out here as the playoffs get going, kind of as we go, instead of waiting once a week. Because if we were to wait to the 16th, the play-in is going to be damn near over for half the play-in, because then the last game would be on that Friday. So yeah, that makes sense. You guys get it. Just make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notified when the episodes drop. Again, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. If you made it this far, you might as well leave some emojis, and you'll be entered in for life for a chance to win on the 1st and 15th of every month. $50. Okay. We appreciate you guys, and I am excited for these playoffs. Catch you guys next time.